What is up, people? Matt here again. So I thought I'd do a kind of new type of video that I've never really done before, but I've been thinking about doing it for a couple of days and I finally decided to sit down and do it. So the video will likely be called Attack on Titan or Shingeki No Kyojin Crack Theory. So arguably one of the most infamous and divisive kind of debates going on in the Attack on Titan and Shingeki no Kyojin community is whether Marco Bott or Bode, or however you pronounce his second name, is he alive or is he dead? Now, he was killed, or at least found dead, after the Battle of Trost. One of the nurses or whatever asked Jean, you know, who is this? Do you know him? And Jean said, yeah, I think I do know him. He's like from my he's from my class. And literally half his face or half his body kind of was pretty much gone. And whoever that person on the ground is, they're dead, okay? But the question has always been whether it was actually Marco or not. Now, I'm here to say, yes, that totally could be Marco, but he might not be dead. Now, a lot of people are saying, was Marco or is Marco a Titan shifter? Because in the manga, at least, he is seen hanging around with Bertholdt, Reiner and Annie, all known Titan shifters. Is that just a coincidence, or is there something more to that? That's what everyone's been wondering. Now, it's later, by the way, spoilers in case you're not really up to date with it, especially manga spoilers, because the anime hasn't even announced a lot of identities yet. So it's thought that Annie is actually the one that killed Marco, and the main evidence supporting this is that when the inspection for the three-dimensional maneuver gear was done, because of the two Titans, Sonny and Bean, they were killed, it was found that Annie's gear that she presented was actually Marco's gear, which, you know, raises alarm bells. And that doesn't look good for Annie, but it doesn't mean she killed him. She could have just picked the gear up after he was killed by a Titan or someone else. If he's dead, that is. So it doesn't necessarily mean Annie killed him. Although that's probably the most feasible, or a lot of people, that's the general consensus. Now, my theory is it's a crack theory, so it's a bit far-fetched for a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people will believe what I say. But I do personally believe Marco is a Titan shifter. However, I don't necessarily think he's one of the bad Titan shifters, if they are actually bad. I think he could be neutral or on Eren's and humanity's side. Now, we've pretty much kind of found that a lot of the different Titans, especially the shifters, have their own kind of special ability. Eren, as a rogue Titan, for instance, has the coordinate ability, so he can actually command Titans now. Annie could harden her skin in places. Reiner, obviously an armored Titan, pretty much hardened everywhere on his body. Bertholdt, he's just fucking massive. And he can basically appear out of nowhere somehow. I don't know if that's an ability. Ymir, not too sure on what her abilities are, but she's very small and nimble. The Ape Titan, we're not sure what his abilities are, or the Beast Titan, although he's apparently made the Titans. So what could Marco's ability be if he was a Titan shifter? And I came up with something that's not too far-fetched, but it could kind of explain a few things. I believe that Marco is a clone Titan. So what do I mean by this? I think he can actually make clones of himself in human form, not as a Titan. So the body that's found by Jean and the nurse after the Battle of Trost, I think that's a Doppler. I think that's a clone of Marco that he either put there to fool everyone into thinking he was dead so he could get out of there, or Marco found out about Annie. Annie tried to kill Marco. Marco quickly made a Doppler of himself. Annie killed the Doppler, and Marco got away. Which does sound a bit strange, but totally possible. Now, another thing that makes me think this is true is that in, like, when they were training and they were being tested, Marco said he was fairly slow, but when it came to one of the tests, it actually turned out Marco was ahead of everybody in speed. So how the hell could he do that if he was slow? Maybe he put one of his clones right in front of everybody before the thing even started, and obviously he just went off somewhere and let the clone do all the work, which is totally possible again. Now, people might be going at this point, well, why hasn't Marco reappeared? If Marco reappeared, people would pretty much catch on that he was a Titan shifter because people pretty much guaranteed he was dead. Questions would be asked, where the hell have you been for the past God knows how long? And it's totally possible if Annie, Annie's in Crystal, but if Reiner, Berthold, Ymir, and the Titans outside the walls found out that Marco's actually still alive, they could go after him. So maybe he's either waiting for the perfect moment to come back, maybe he won't ever come back, and maybe he's just going to be alive. Maybe he is actually alive, but he's not, like, he's just not going to come back. A lot of people were saying that maybe Marco's the Ape Titan. I don't think that's true, because the Ape Titan doesn't know about the 3D maneuver gear for starters, and the Ape Titan actually has the appearance of sort of a kind of middle-aged man with a beard, glasses. He looks, the Ape Titan looks exactly like Grisha, Eren's dad, but Eren's dad's dead now, and the Ape Titan is still alive, so it can't be Eren's dad. So who knows who the hell the Ape Titan is, but I'll do that in a separate video. So yes, Marco Bott, I don't think he's dead, but I also can't see him coming back, or if he does come back, I think it is possibly likely that he used the Doppler. It could be even more sinister than that, and he killed one of the people that look like him. But I don't see Marco as a bad person, so I can't imagine he would kill someone just to hide himself. So I think it's more likely he just created a clone of himself. And that's pretty much it for this crack theory of Attack on Titan or Shingeki No Kyojin. So as always, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye now.